Are you an INTP who feels like you're staring into the abyss, constantly questioning the meaning of it all? What if I told you an ancient philosophy holds the key to calming that storm inside your head? You're an INTP. Your mind is a whirlwind of possibilities, a universe of what-ifs. You deconstruct everything, from the laws of physics to the reason you chose cereal for breakfast. But this incredible analytical power has a dark side, doesn't it? It often leads you down a rabbit hole of existential dread, questioning your purpose, the meaning of life, and your place in the vast, seemingly indifferent cosmos. It's a lonely place to be. But what if the solution isn't to find a single, grand answer, but to change the way you ask the questions? Today, we're exploring how the ancient wisdom of Stoicism can be the ultimate operating system for the INTP mind, turning existential crises into a source of strength. Let's be real. The INTP brain is a paradox. You crave logic and truth, yet you live in a world that often feels chaotic and meaningless. This clash is the breeding ground for the classic INTP existential crisis. It usually starts with a simple question: what's the point? This isn't just a fleeting thought for you. It's a deep dive. You analyze your job, your relationships, your hobbies, and you strip them down to their core components until you're left wondering if any of it truly matters in the grand scheme of things. This can lead to a state psychologists call analysis paralysis, where you're so overwhelmed by possibilities and the search for a perfect, meaningful path that you end up doing nothing at all. You might find yourself withdrawing, feeling detached from others who seem perfectly content with their lives. They don't seem to be wrestling with the same monumental questions that keep you up at night. It can feel incredibly isolating, as if you're speaking a different language from everyone else. This isn't a flaw, it's a feature of your personality type. Your primary function, introverted thinking, demands logical consistency. When the universe doesn't provide it, your mind flags an error message. That error message is your existential crisis. So, you're stuck in this loop of questioning everything. You've tried distracting yourself, maybe diving into a new complex theory or a video game world, but the feeling always creeps back in. You've probably thought, if I could just figure out the ultimate purpose, everything would fall into place. But that's like trying to solve an equation with infinite variables. It's an unwinnable game that your brain insists on playing. The struggle is exhausting. It drains your motivation and can make even simple daily tasks feel pointless. You see the world moving on, people achieving goals, and you're stuck in neutral, engine revving, but going nowhere. You might even feel a sense of envy or frustration. Why can't you just be happy with the simple things? Why does your mind have to make everything so complicated? This is the core challenge for the INTP. Your greatest strength, your analytical mind, becomes your own personal torture device. You're trying to find a logical, permanent solution to an emotional, ever-changing problem. And that's a recipe for perpetual frustration. Now, imagine a different approach. Instead of trying to find the meaning of life, what if you focused on building a meaningful life, day by day? This is where Stoicism comes in. Think of it less as a dusty old philosophy and more as a practical toolkit for the mind. The Stoics, guys like Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus, were obsessed with one thing: how to live a good, tranquil life in a world full of chaos and uncertainty. Sound familiar? The core idea of Stoicism that will change the game for you is the Dichotomy of Control. It's super simple. Some things are within our control, and some things are not. The meaning of the universe, not in your control. Other people's opinions, not in your control. A meteor hitting the Earth, definitely not in your control. What is in your control? Your thoughts, your judgments, and your actions. That's it. For an INTP, this is revolutionary. It takes that massive, overwhelming list of existential worries and shrinks it down to a manageable few. Your brain, which loves systems and logic, can finally grab on to something solid. It stops trying to solve the unsolvable and redirects its massive processing power to what you can actually do, right here, right now. Let's see how this works in practice. A classic INTP thought is, "I'm not living up to my potential." This thought sends you into a spiral of despair. A Stoic INTP would pause and apply the dichotomy of control. The concept of potential is vague and external. You can't directly control it. But what can you control? You can control whether you spend 1 hour today learning a new skill. You can control whether you write 1 page of that book you've been thinking about. The focus shifts from a terrifying abstract idea of potential to a small, concrete, controllable action. Another Stoic tool is the practice of negative visualization. And this isn't about being pessimistic, it's about being prepared. Spend a few moments imagining losing the things you value. Your health, your relationships, your comfort. The point isn't to make you miserable. The point is to make you incredibly grateful for what you have right now. For the INTP mind that's always lost in future possibilities, this practice grounds you firmly in the present. Suddenly, the coffee you're drinking, the quiet moment you have to think, these aren't just mundane details. They are precious things you are fortunate to experience. It transforms your logical mind into a gratitude machine. This is where the transformation really happens. By consistently applying these Stoic principles, your existential crisis begins to lose its power. The question, "What is the meaning of life?" is replaced by, "How can I act with virtue and purpose today?" The Stoics believed the meaning of life isn't something you find, it's something you create through your actions. For an INTP who loves to build systems, this is the ultimate project, building a life of meaning. You start to see challenges not as soul-crushing obstacles, but as opportunities to practice virtue, courage, wisdom, justice, and temperance. Did a project at work fail? It's a chance to practice resilience. Did someone misunderstand you? An opportunity to practice patience and clear communication. Your life becomes a laboratory for your own personal development. The anxiety that came from feeling out of control disappears, because you realize you were always focusing on the wrong things. You, the INTP, who felt like a passive observer in a meaningless universe, suddenly become the active architect of your own inner world. The external chaos can rage on, but your inner citadel, as the Stoics called it, remains calm and orderly. This is the ultimate freedom. You stop seeking answers from the outside world and start building them from within. So, let's bring it all together. The INTP's tendency to question everything is a superpower, but without a proper framework, it can lead to paralyzing existential crises. You try to apply logic to a universe that isn't always logical, leaving you feeling lost and isolated. The solution isn't to stop thinking, but to direct that thinking inward. Stoicism, with its focus on the dichotomy of control, gives you that framework. By separating what you can control from what you can't, you free up your immense mental energy from worrying about unsolvable cosmic puzzles. Instead, you focus on your actions, your judgments, and your character. You learn to appreciate the present moment through practices like negative visualization and view life's challenges as opportunities to grow. The search for a single grand meaning of life is replaced by the daily fulfilling act of living a meaningful life. You don't find your purpose. You build it, one virtuous action at a time. If this resonated with you, you'll want to see our video on how INTPs can overcome analysis paralysis.